Hi everybody, this is Barry from NFT Music Info. Hope you're well. Nobody believed in MP3s when they came out. Nobody could see the point of them, and then they just took off. And everybody seems to know what an MP3 is now. NFTs are the same in my opinion. They're new, and at the moment it's not easy to set up, but I do believe that things will get better. The potential of NFTs is huge, as it provides a gateway for artists to make money on items they've worked with, which have been so hard to produce, whether they were the first demos, never released material, or released material. So this article talks about the impact on artists and musicians as the music business transitions to NFTs. So, we've heard about Blau, Kings of Leon, Grimes, other artists entering the arena. 3Lau, just $11.6 million on an NFT is just absolutely incredible, isn't it? If you think about it, it just provides the scope and possibility and awareness of the potential of NFTs on how powerful they can be. In terms of NFTs, if for people that want to understand what it really is about, I think of NFTs and non-fungible tokens. Tokens are like gift cards. The NFT isn't actually the art or music itself, it's the token that points to that art or music. If you think of fungible, it's like $1. Every dollar, no matter whichever one you pick up, is always going to be worth 100 cents, no matter which one you pick up. So non-fungible, it basically means that every different version has a different value, and you can prove that you're an owner of that NFT via the smart contract on the blockchain. So I consider blockchain to be like the internet version 2 in my head. The first idea of musicians is to mint the album straight away, but that's not always the best way to do it. So what I did is I created a video with the top 50 ideas for musicians to create NFTs. Check out that video if you haven't already. The huge potential to the music business and to musicians is going to be amazing, and it is going to revolutionize the way that everything is produced, monetized, and distributed to a global audience, making it fair, fun, and transparent. So basically, this article talks about royalties, that they go to copyright holders. There's various segments. So you've got songwriters, composers, and publishers, and just how big the business actually is in terms of copywriting and licensing. This breakdown, I'll be honest, was to be expected, but it really did disappoint me in that 85% of revenues in 2020 was from streaming. It's just madness, There's only 6% that are from digital downloads of the likes like Bandcamp. I'm a huge fan of Bandcamp, but just to think that that's just part of the 6% of digital downloads is just ridiculous. I really kind of hope we can move forward with this and that there'll be less demand on the streaming platform. It's a bit like Bitcoin, isn't it? Bitcoin to me is obviously the most dominant crypto. It was the first one to really take off. And it's the same kind of thing with streaming. I don't hate Bitcoin. I don't hate streaming. I use Spotify all the time to listen to music. My music's on there. But I do feel it's just completely killed the value of what music is, streaming. And it's growing every time, So 5% it grew more than in 1 year. Now, if NFTs could take off, there could be huge potential with this. And it would definitely dent streaming. The statistics of streaming, the targets of the company of Spotify, what they actually focus on, is nothing to do with the musicians. It's not how many times you listen to a track. They're not. They don't care about the music. What they care about is that users stay on the platform for as long as possible, so that they don't then go onto YouTube or Netflix or whatever it is, and that's completely different point of view to what musicians are. Musicians want to be heard, they want to be discovered, they want to have success, they want to feel valued. And I think there's a lot of musicians out there that just don't feel valued at the moment. So I really believe that this NFT space is the future. Now, what I've been working really hard on this channel to do in such a short space of time is to go through as many platforms, NFT platforms, that I can find, to actually locate the best services available at the moment for musicians to produce NFTs on there. And there's a lot more for me to do. I've covered about 8, 9, 10 so far, I believe. And, you know, they're improving all the time, so I do believe there's huge scope. If there's any you want me to check out, please let me know in the comment section. Also, yesterday I did a video for Warp Brothers, because they've just released an NFT. Well, it's just about to be released today. And they got back to me, and they really appreciated me doing a video on it, just to kind of help promote their NFTs. So if there's any music NFTs that you want me to promote, you can reach out to me at nftmusicinfo at gmail.com. Links in the description. So yeah, please let me know, because I'd love to promote NFTs. So this goes on to say, while the streaming and music renting model are booming, the actual ownership of the physical or digital music continues in its downward trend. People don't feel that they have to own music anymore. Well, they do, but because streaming gets so much in the way of that, why bother owning music? But I'll tell you something, the amount of times I've been on Spotify and all of a sudden, because I've got huge playlists on Spotify, they're massive, but the amount of times you find that all of a sudden you can't play a certain track and it's greyed out, it's because maybe they've had a dispute between Spotify and the label that track's associated with. All of a sudden you can't play that song anymore. So there's a lot of value to actually owning your music. And that's why I think Bandcamp, even though it's not that well discovered yet, apart from musicians, if it was a lot more in the public eye, I do feel that it would be more popular, because it would make people realise that by owning the vinyl, by owning the music, by owning the FLAC files or WAV files or MP3s, that there's huge value in that. And NFTs provide that, but they also give the possibility of being able to resell NFTs, make money on your investment, and that part of that percentage will go back to the musician, which I think is incredible. Because if you had copied a song and sold it, that would be illegal. Whereas the NFTs, obviously you're able to resell them on some platforms, and then you're able to, the originator that created and minted that NFT, gets a like 10% or 20% depending on what the creator wanted to begin with. So I just think there's huge scope for NFTs. This goes on regarding the US in terms of download revenues and just how it's decreased. In that dark colour it's albums, green colour it's tracks, and others ringtones. I can't remember the last time I bought a ringtone. But, you know, digital downloads themselves are continuing to decline. This talks about some of the downsides of the music industry, in that musicians currently just get around 12% of the revenue generated by the industry. Most of the profits, you know, there's huge middlemen out there, such as tech companies, radio stations and record labels, that are benefiting from artists. Digitalization, sorry, I can't get my words out today, hasn't evolved for the better for musicians. And you don't own that music on Spotify, you know? You're just renting it. Same as Netflix, you don't own those films or programs, you just own the right to borrow them while you subscribe to them. So yeah, this article goes on to say about why they're a game changer. So a lot of the biggest problems, this is how they can make a difference. And there's 3 options really for musicians. So you can directly monetize your music through yield-bearing NFTs, which is, you know, generated by licensed use of artist music. The other option is that you get instant revenue by selling your master or publishing copyrights of your music as NFTs. Something really important is that if you're going to do that, you need to have a contract in place. You need to speak to a solicitor or whatever to get help with that. Because just having the NFT and just having it in the description, or even not having it in the description, can cause disputes. So always make sure you're covered in terms of that. And I'm not a financial advisor, so please don't take this as anything, just entertainment. And the third option is, besides licensing rights, musicians can embed special utility into their NFTs, and that's a lot what I talked about in that top 50 ideas for musicians for NFTs, is that you can give access to tickets, backstage experiences, and much more. In fact, funnily enough, I found a feed yesterday on a visual artist that produces NFTs, and the artist basically said that they're going to be burned in 24 hours. So that then really does push potential buyers to go for it in a short time frame. So that is another idea that wasn't included in that video that I thought, oh, that is interesting. So looking ahead, hopefully NFTs will play a major role in many industries, but particularly in the music business. Certainly happened in the art world. We want it to repeat, if not flourish even more, for the music industry. And this talks about a new NFT platform called Superfarm. So there you go. So I hope you like this video. Hope you like me babbling on. And please let me know any comments that you've got. And I'll speak to you soon. Take care.